Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in before I start building. Back at it, man. I was live about 2 hours ago. Had the client come in there, had to run them through the ground. Let's get back to it. Get everything situated. Hopefully you all still maintaining, man, still staying centered and balanced and peaceful and all that good stuff. Be back at it, man. Hopefully y'all can tap back in, tune back into your boy. Like I said, took a little 2-hour break, man. Had the client come in. Had to put him through one of my torture sessions. So now I want to talk fitness with y'all a little bit. Kind of help y'all overcome some obstacles and hurdles that y'all might be facing. When it comes to achieving like your fitness, your health and fitness goals, man, a lot of people have a lot of obstacles, a lot of hurdles that they must jump over and face. A lot of people got things that they are going through that makes it a little bit more complicated for them to achieve their fitness goals, their health goals, whatever the case may be. So a lot of people look at things like exercising as like a burden, something they have to make time for, and they feel like they don't have enough time for it. Well, I got a few strategies that'll help you fit that exercise into your schedule, because that's like the main reason or the main excuse that I tend to get from people. They don't have enough time. So lack of time is something that a lot of people feel like they deal with in regards to definitely exercising. So a lot of people feel like they lack the proper amount of time simply because a lot of people feel like exercising is something you must go to a gym and do. Like if you don't have time to roll to a gym and get it in at the gym, there's plenty of things that you could do while you even at work. And definitely at the crib, definitely at home. So really, it's no excuse for you not to really be getting your exercise in, man. Movement is medicine, motion is medicine. So there's really no excuse. But a lot of people make excuses. A lot of people try to justify the laziness, man. A lot of people try to justify. But again, we make time for the things that we want. We make times for the things that we need. That's how we got to move. You got to make time to exercise. You got to make time to eat healthy. If you got to meal prep, then you got to make time to meal prep. These are things that must be done. These are things that you must do. Terenzo, peace. What's going on with you, my brother? So we got to just assassinate. We got to kill the excuses. A lot of excuses out here being made in regards to basically people justifying their laziness. Magic Realms, what's going on? So that's why I supply people with the question, why are you not in better shape? Why are you not healthier? What's truly holding you back? And normally when I ask that question, a lot of people give me those surface level answers. It's a lot deeper than the surface level answer. So the initial answer that you may give me in regards to why you're not in the best shape that you should possibly be in, or why you're not eating healthier, like that initial reason, that initial answer, guarantee you it's not going to be the actual underlying reason or underlying answer. You're more than likely going to start by blaming something outside of yourself, blaming a circumstance or situation outside of yourself in regards to why you are now lazy, why you're not exercising, and why you're not eating correctly. The Concast, what's going on with you? And I got a method that I came across. And this method applies to anyone, whether it be truckers, whoever it is, because essentially I feel like everybody can take time like every hour to stop and do something. So one technique that I got is every hour you stop what you're doing, you do a body weight movement for a minute straight. So that means every hour throughout the day, throughout the waking hours of the day, every hour you stop and do a body weight movement for a minute straight. So you can do push-ups, you can do wide grip push-ups, you can do close grip push-ups, you can do sit-ups, crunches, planks, side bends, jumping jacks, burpees, whatever the body weight movement is of choice for that particular minute. Do it for a minute. So every hour during your waking hours, Stop what you are doing and do a body weight movement for a minute straight. Every hour, do that. Everybody can afford to do that. A minute is not that long. It don't take nothing to drop down and do some push-ups for a minute and then get back to whatever it is that you was doing. All you need is a minute. Every hour, just stop. Give yourself a minute. Give yourself a minute every hour. Because again, we don't understand how we killing ourselves in a lot of different ways. We too sedentary, man. You know how like sitting down for long periods of time, like that's killing us. That's actually decreasing your lifespan by sitting down for like too long. Sitting down for long periods of time. That's decreasing your lifespan, man. So you got to get up. You got to break that. You got to get up and you got to move. You got to get up, put your body in motion, do something, get the blood circulating. So the Concast, man, the best thing every hour. Stop and do a body weight movement for a minute straight. Squat, push-ups, jumping jacks, burpees, planks, inchworms, crunches, whatever it is, side bends, whatever it is that you want to do during your waking hours, every hour. Just stop, do that body weight movement for a minute straight. That's simple. Eli, peace, what's going on? James Brown, what's going on? MR Reaper, peace, what's going on? And yeah, MR Reaper, and that's the thing. At the end of the day, it's like we acknowledge the condition that we in. All right, I'm obese, I'm overweight, I'm too skinny. Whatever your problem is, once you acknowledge it, like now I'm the type of person, what's the solution? So what are you gonna do about it? You gonna sit around and keep acknowledging the fact that you need to lose weight? Are you trying to put on muscle? Or are you gonna learn what's necessary in order for you to reverse that condition and change that condition? So at the end of the day, when it comes to sympathy, I only have so much when it comes to physical fitness, because it's all about basically putting in the work. If you wasting all of your time on Facebook, scrolling up and down on Facebook, and then you complaining to me about your weight, I'm not going to have sympathy for you, because that time that you spending wasting, that time that you are wasting scrolling up and down Facebook is a time that you can be utilizing to put in some work. As far as exercising goes, as far as like meal prepping, eating better foods. So like, I don't have sympathy for that. Like if you wasting your time and then you want to come to me and you try to justify like the wasting of that time, like, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem. Terenzo, most definitely. My excuse, no excuse. Yeah, that the society overwhelming you, and that can happen. But the best way to combat that, we already know it. Put things into motion. Put the body into motion. That's the best way to combat anything. It's a stress reliever. MR Reaper, man, the sedentary lifestyle is dangerous, and the Concast, and that's why I say every hour. Whether you got to just stop. Like if you drive, if you're on the road and got to hit a rest stop or something, just stop and give yourself a minute and get right back on the road. All you need is a minute. You will be surprised how rough it is, man. Try to bang out push-ups for a minute straight. That's a lot more challenging than you think, man. That's putting your muscles through it. Minute straight, man, during the waking hours. That's all you need. That's all you need for starters. That's something that you can do. A little action is better than no action in regards to just movement, man. So a little movement is better than no movement at all. What I say, slow motion is better than no motion. So if you can only get 10 minutes of exercise, and that's better than 0. So we need to just start embracing motion, movement. Gotta move. Movement is medicine. Magic rims. It's a lot of different. You know, one thing I came across a book that gave an interesting perspective in regards to why a lot of people like complain about, and this was talking about overweight people and people that are obese. And it was talking about some real deep reasons in regards to why some of them may cling to just complaining about being obese, being overweight, instead of actually doing something about it. And one thing I came across that I found was kind of crazy was that when people are obese and overweight and they feel bad about it, like they kind of depressed about it, then they get a lot of sympathy. A lot of people feel bad for them. So one thing that book said was like, when those people, if those people were to lose weight, then they would lose all of that type of attention. So I was like, wow, that's kind of deep and that's kind of crazy. So it's like they embrace the fact that people feel sorry for them. Like they get used to that, people feeling sorry for them. So it's like once they lose the weight, then people will no longer feel sorry for them. So they feel like they would lose that attention. And I was like, that's crazy. That's kind of deep. That's kind of deep. That's kind of deep. I read that in the book. And that was one of the reasons. It was a lot of different reasons that were deep like that in regards to why people just complain about being obese and overweight and they really don't want to do anything about it. That was one of the deep psychological reasons behind it, because the attention. They feel like they'll lose that attention, and then now you accountable. Once that weight is off, like you can't sit around and mope and complain. Now it's time to get to work. Ain't nobody feeling sorry for you now because you done lost that weight. You done dropped the pounds. So I was like, all right, that's crazy. Yeah, MR Reaper, and that's one of the things too when it comes to like just the style of training. You got people that obviously are in it for like the bodybuilding aesthetic purposes, and then you have functional training. When I played sports, obviously, football, we did a lot of functional lifting, and that was like my first time getting into that. For the most part, it's a lot different than like actual bodybuilding type training. Like those functional movements, I don't know if you work out in the gym and do a lot of functional movements, but it's a different ball game when you start doing those functional movements opposed to like bodybuilding type routines. But a lot of people don't understand that, man. Just training to be functional movements, man, mimicking movements or motions that go on in your everyday life. Like that's what functional training is, mimicking everyday movements, everyday motions. That's what functional training is. So you going into the gym doing things that you would do on a day-to-day basis, just increasing your functionality in regards to those movements. Yeah, James Brown. That's what I tell people, man. Get on up. And even if you don't get up, man, just educate yourself. Just learn about it. Something. Do something. Don't just sit around and complain about it, man. At the end of the day, that's only going to get you so far. Matter of fact, that's not really going to get you anywhere but make you go backwards. Because, again, you're already probably an emotional eater. So when you start thinking about it and allowing it to depress you even more, then you're probably going to gravitate right towards those bad foods that you don't need to be consuming. Oh, Torenzo, crazy. It's crazy that you brought that up because that was another thing. That was another little tactic that I got, man. They call it, look this up, y'all, something called longevity walking. Longevity walking. It's telling you the proper way to kind of walk. And it's kind of deep, man. It talk about basically if you walk with your toes pointed outward, like how that can be bad on your knees over time and how it can impact your lower back and all of that good stuff. So it say make sure like your toes pointed forward, and you should mimic like the number 11. Like you should stand according to that. Like your toes should be kind of, your toes and feet should be parallel. And then you should kind of grip your toes to the ground type deal. So it's a certain way that you should walk that promotes like longevity. It's called a longevity walk. So definitely look that up. So it's like you sinking your toes to the ground and your feet parallel and you just upright. So if you just pay attention to your feet when you walk. So if your toes are pointed outward, that's not good. That can eventually strain your knees and it can lead to problems with your lower back. So pay attention to your toes when you walk and try to correct that. Them toes should not be pointed outward, straight ahead. So definitely, it's funny that Torenzo mentioned that because I was going to bring that up later on in his video, but he kind of expedited that process. Antoinette, peace, what's going on? And Kev, when it comes to squatting, now, if you squatting with weight, and it's heavy weight, I wouldn't recommend squatting every day. But if you like doing body weight squats, then it's cool to do some body weight squats every day. But if you squatting with weight, it just depends on what you're training for. Like I wouldn't squat every day because I'm a squat heavy and I'm a squat with a lot of weight. So it's not healthy to do that every day because my ligaments, my joints and all that gonna need rest from squatting heavy. But if you're just doing body weight squats, man, just for some motion, just for, just to improve your overall health and fitness level, then that's cool. But if you weightlifting, I wouldn't recommend squatting every day. You eventually would need a break from that, because rest is when the body actually grows. So you don't want to just overdo it. You don't want to just overtax your legs. Magic Rim, the isometric training, Bruce Lee was a big advocate of that. I got the knowledge about that type of training by studying Bruce Lee, the isometric holds. He was real big on that. Bruce Lee was real big on those isometric holds, man. That's why he was powerful. Bruce Lee basically incorporated elements from everything. That's why he had his formless form, which he didn't want to give it a name, but they named it Jeet Kune Do. But he took something from everything, which is what we say, take the best parts from everything. That's basically what Bruce Lee would do. He was a student of life. He studied life around him, and he took the best parts from everything that he would study, and he applied them to himself. And that became a form. It became a technique. It became a martial art. But he didn't even want to he didn't want to give it a name. It was a formless form type deal. So he didn't want to give it a name for that reason, because he felt like it was a combination of everything that he had learned. And I definitely can dig that. But you know how we do it. We got to name everything. Eli Smooth, no, it don't necessarily hurt, but it's kind of awkward at first when you actually start it's like focusing on your breathing. You know, breathing is something that we just do normally. Like, you ain't got to think about breathing. But when somebody tell you to focus on breathing, it's kind of awkward at first, like, because you're not used to doing it. This walking, it don't hurt, but it's awkward, man, when you start actually focusing on how you are actually walking. It's just awkward at first, because you realize like your posture is trash. For the most part, a lot of people don't realize it, man. Just outside of eating bad, a lot of our problems can be solved if we fixed our posture and our breathing. Like, those two things are critical. Like, our posture for the most part is tearing our backs up, and the way that we walk is tearing our knees up. Like, a lot of us got lower back pain, and a lot of us have knee issues because of the way that we walk and because of the way that we sit. Like, literally, those two things go under the radar in regards to some of the problems and ailments that we deal with. The way that we sit and stand, and the way that we walk, and the way that we breathe. Like, those things cause a lot of problems, and we not hip to those problems that they cause. And MR Reaper just talked about body posture. Sweet Tea, peace, what's going on? Montel, what's going on? Jay Capers, I do not fool with the whey protein. Not at all. No, sir. No, sir. Don't fool with it. Especially in powder form. Those protein powders eventually will destroy your kidneys in the long run. So I would definitely stay away from that. Amber, peace, what's going on with you, Queen? The Concast. When it comes to sit-ups, probably shouldn't have said sit-ups. You do crunches instead of sit-ups. And you can do some high crunches too. So that's basically when you have your arms all the way out, extended, and then you just crunch with your arms all the way extended. So I'd rather opt for you to do the crunches instead of sit-ups, because the sit-ups can essentially mess up your back. So the crunches are a lot more safer for the back. So do some high crunches. And that's just basically having your arms extended fully and you crunching from that position. Nick, peace, what's going on? Yeah, Magic Rims, that diaphragm breathing is deep. And I recommend everybody do it. Yeah, D, yeah, and I'm bad at that. The way you sleep also plays a role in your health, but I'm bad at that. I'm bad at that, man. I might sleep any which way, man, but sleeping is very important in regards to just your posture while you are sleeping. But that's definitely important, man. But breathing is probably, I don't know. It's probably a tie between breathing and posture, because a lot of people have terrible posture, but a lot of people just truly do not breathe correctly. And like I said, y'all have heard me talk about it in previous videos about not taking that deep breath to where everybody can hear you. Y'all know that deep sigh that everybody likes to take. Like, that's negative, and you should not do that. You should not do that. You can take a deep breath without everybody having to hear you, without you having to hear yourself. That's the proper way to deeply breathe. You should not be breathing to where everybody can hear you. That's incorrect. You're releasing way too much carbon dioxide. Like I said, you need some of that carbon dioxide for the oxygen to get to where it needs to go. So somebody then told you, especially when you exercising, they have lied to you and told you that that deep breath is bringing you more oxygen in, the oxygen saturation. So you getting more oxygen to the lungs when you take that deep breath. That is a myth. That is actually false. That is definitely actually false. That's not happening. So when you tired and you gasping for breath, like taking that deep breath, that's doing more harm than good, actually. And the Comcast, I'll put the Cash App in the comments real quick for you. There it go right there. That's the Cash App. Appreciate you, my brother. Keisha, most definitely. Yeah, I sleep on my side too, but it's kind of interesting. I don't know if you all have experienced this type of situation, but I've had like respiratory problems way back in the day when I had like bronchitis and asthma when I was a child. But if I sleep on a certain side, man, it impacts my breathing. I think it's my right side. When I sleep on my right side, that ain't necessarily that good. I know there's some science behind which side you should sleep on, man. But I just experimenting with myself personally. I got to sleep like on my left side. And we know what tends to happen when we sleep on the back. But I've heard some positive things about one sleeping on their back as well. But man, you sleep on the back, they say you prone to bad dreams. Jay Capers, no, sir, you don't need protein powders at all to gain weight. Just think about it. When you look at the protein powders, and I can speak for example here. I can speak from experience, because I was big into the protein powders. And I can tell you that it was messing me up, and I had plant-based joints. But when you look at the protein powder, man, just look at what you're getting per serving. You might be getting about 25, 30 grams, some maybe 40 grams per serving. For the most part, like our bodies really don't necessarily need that much protein. So what tends to happen when we embrace these protein powders, man, we are actually supplying our bodies with too much protein, too much. And that's what is impacting the kidneys. So now you don't necessarily need protein powder to gain weight. You can easily make your own protein filled smoothie and whatnot. So get you some like bananas, man, get you some peanut butter or some almond butter or some sunflower butter, one of those. Then get you like some hemp seeds, some pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds. Those seeds are rich in protein, man, and you just blend them joints up and you're going to get you as many grams that you would get in the regular protein powder. It's going to be a lot healthier for you. So you can just make your own protein filled smoothie. That's what I would recommend. So make your own protein shake. And Jay Capers, oddly enough, I'm not one to meal prep because I keep everything simple. And that's what I recommend. Basically, keeping it simple. Keeping it simple. I know a lot of people like to experiment when it comes to like meals and certain foods, but I say keep it simple. Keep it very simple, man. Find your the main staple of foods that you consume. Just keep rotating them, man. Just keep it simple. But I don't even meal prep. When it comes to meditating, and what I mean by deep breathing being bad is only when you do the deep breathing to where everybody hears you or when you hear yourself. So it's a way that you can breathe deeply without being heard. I can give you a prime example. It's just, I just took a deep breath and nobody heard me. That's what deep breathing is. You can definitely do that while meditating. But when you take a deep breath and you hearing yourself breathe or somebody else is hearing you breathe, you know, that side that I'm talking about, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. But you can definitely, deep breathing don't necessarily mean you must be heard. So it's easy to take a deep breath and it not be heard. So yeah, when you find yourself taking that deep breath or that deep sigh, you gotta counter that, neutralize that. Don't do that. You gotta stop it. Kev, man, celery is like my enemy. I have a hard time stomaching celery, although I know I need to drink the celery juice and put it in smoothies, man. But I cannot tolerate the taste of celery. But I'm about to break that, man, because like I said, January, I'm about to go straight raw, man. I'm about to be doing smoothies, and then seeds and nuts, man, for the entire month. That's what I'm about to be on, taking everything to the next level. We're not playing around with this health, man. We taking it to the next level. So in January, I'm gonna start that. So I'm definitely gonna start incorporating more celery into the mix. That's probably the one vegetable that I have a hard time with. All the other ones good to roll, but that celery, man, that tastes be hard for me to do something about it. Even when I put it with stuff that tastes good, I just always taste the celery. Yeah, D, most definitely. Yeah, just master the breathing. Master the breathing. Master the breathing. Man, Eli, yeah, like I said, I know a lot of people that rock with celery. Celery is one of those foods, man. I just can't even do it. But I'm gonna break it though. I'm gonna break it though. I know all the benefits that come with celery and whatnot, so I'm gonna break it eventually. All right, D. When it, whoo, what's it? I'm starting to. It's starting to get interesting. Like people throwing this estrogen thing out here a little too loosely when it comes to certain foods and about it raising the estrogen levels. At the end of the day, I'm not even going to talk about estrogen. Anything in excess can be detrimental. Anything. That's anything. Any food. Too much water can harm you. Like, so too much of anything can be harmful for you. So you always want to do things kind of in moderation and you want to balance everything out. But as far as things just increasing the estrogen level, man, I mean, like when people would say if you consume, again, I talk about non-GMO soy, but people talk about consuming the soy getting the man boobs. Man, I was on non-GMO soy for the longest, and I don't have anything close to a man boob. Like, you know, so it's some things, man, people just be reaching. And it don't be a lot, it don't be a lot of actual research behind it. And then you have two forms of estrogen. Like sometimes this is plant estrogen. And that ain't necessarily as harmful as the actual estrogen that he may be talking about. So it's a lot of different things, man, when it comes to estrogen, man, especially with the soy. The soy is filled with the plant estrogen, not the human estrogen. So those are two totally separate things. And a lot of people don't know that. So when people say, oh, it increases estrogen, but it's like it's the plant estrogen, it's not the human estrogen and things of that nature. So people just gotta dig a little deeper when it comes to researching certain things when it comes to nutrition. Yeah, D, and that's what and that's what's funny, man. Like you don't even be overdoing it, and they be like, it's gonna raise your estrogen. Like, where do y'all be getting some of this stuff from? All bona fide definitely got you. But hey, that's still moving though. Cleaning the house, dancing, that's motion. That's motion. That's movement. All right, Keisha, when it comes to a person just starting a workout plan. So this is when I recommend simplicity. Now, I'm only saying simplicity because I'm not personally training people. When I train people for the first time, I run them through ground. That's how I do it. But since I'm not personally training you, I will tell you simplicity is the best way to get started. So you want to start with about 3 days a week, and you want to try to do like a full body routine. And you want to master all the body weight movements that you can. So I would recommend do some circuit training. Depending on if you have access to a gym, then I'll give you a different recommendation. But if you're doing workouts at home, then I gotta meet you where you at. So if you're doing like a home-based workout, then what I would recommend is probably do a little circuit training, some circuit training. Do some squats, push-ups, burpees, planks, high knees in place, jumping jacks, all those body weight movements, 25 to 30 seconds a pop, no rest in between then you rest at the end of the circuit. So you probably do about 5 to 6 body weight movements of your choice, back to back to back, for about 30 seconds. Then give yourself a break. Then rest about 1 minute to 2 minutes. Then get back to it. Do about 3 rounds of that. Do that for 3 days out of the week. Probably do that for about a month. Then when that month hits, then you want to evaluate your progress. This is another thing that's important. You want to really evaluate your progress. It's a lot of different ways to evaluate that. So you want to make sure you checking your, I'm not a big fan of just checking your weight. You want to find something that gives you body fat. You want to find something that gives you, I talked about the visceral fat. Those are the things that I like to focus on. Your muscle mass, your body water, those things. So you should be getting those numbers at least 2 to 3 times a week. So then at the end of that month, when you follow this routine for about 4 weeks, then you want to start asking yourself some questions, man. You want to see the progress. Was I going up? Was I going down? Was I trending in the right direction, trending in the wrong direction? How do I feel after following this regimen for about a week, for about a month? So you reach a conclusion after you've analyzed your progress, and then you start to make adjustments to your program. So now you more than likely will hit a wall after training after doing that routine for about 4 weeks. You're gonna hit that wall. So now it's time to increase the intensity. You can add a day. You can add time to the circuit. So you can do, instead of 30 seconds, you can do 35 to 40 seconds for each exercise. But you want to change something. You want to increase the intensity after that month. So I say do that type of routine for about a month, and then you want to change it. Then you want to change something. That's what I recommend just for starting off. Obviously, when you have been training for a minute, then it's going to be different, because you constantly are going to have to be increasing the intensity to just maintain results or get more results. But when you just starting off, like, you don't have to do anything crazy, because your body going to respond quickly to what it is that you are doing when you just getting started. So you definitely want to keep things simple, man. Just get yourself used to the routine and used to the regimen. Just used to the idea of working out. Yeah, Bonafide. I get tired of talking. I'm gonna do a video about soy, but soy is something that's misunderstood. And I always gotta clarify non-GMO soy. Like, you don't want GMO anything. So I always have to clarify that, because, for one, like I said, the study that a lot of people go to prove that soy is bad for especially men, like, that study was so flawed that it's crazy. Like, that study was flawed. That study was conducted on some dudes that was already eating trash, and some dudes that were like pretty much already overweight and obese. They just added soy to the mix. So like that study is flawed. And a lot of people, I'm assuming a lot of people haven't really done the research to that actual study that leads to people saying that soy leads to man boobs. Oh, the Concast, man. I got a lot of things going on in the new year, man. Like I said, I'm about to spend that first month just manifesting. In fact, I don't even want to call it a fast, man. It's like a transition. I'm just transitioning to a new paradigm. And the way that I'm going to transition into that new paradigm, like I said, I'm going just straight raw for the whole entire month of January, man. That's just how I got to do it. And within that, I'm probably about to get a lot of things done in regards to just like writing and stuff like that, coming up with more powerful content and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a lot of things that I'm whipping up when I'm going to be doing that little 30-day transition. Like, sometimes, and it ain't necessarily something that I want to do, man. Y'all don't understand. Like, I enjoy a lot of vegan foods, man. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's something that I have to do. I feel like it's something that must be done. I got to do this 30-day straight raw. Got to do it, man. It's on my mind, so I got to do it. Rex, appreciate the donation. Masculine mindset. Oh, yeah, I got plenty of workouts for the abs. Plenty of workouts for the abs. And it's, like I said, depending on if you in the gym, then I definitely can help the abs, because what people don't realize too, a lot of weightlifting movements involve the core, involve the abs. So I actually, when I developed my 6-pack, like I wasn't really doing that many ab exercises. Like I probably would do like 2 ab exercises per workout. and it would only be about 2 sets each exercise for about like 10 to 12 reps. But I did a lot of weighted ab exercises. So you definitely want to do some weighted ab exercises. But when I developed my abs the most, man, it was just because I was doing a lot of heavy lifting, squatting, deadlifting, bench pressing. All those things involve the ab. They activate the core. They really involve the core and activate the core, especially like the military press when you lifting the bar overhead or the dumbbells overhead. Like you really are involving and activating the core and the abs. But I definitely got a lot of workout plans for the abs though. Eli Smooth, it can get worse than a chocolate chip. I mean, I would kind of stay away from them though. Hey D, that's probably I'm gonna put that question on the screen. D, that's probably one of the best questions I've been asked in a minute. This is a pretty solid question. Does our body begin to build a tolerance to the things we've been taking for immunity, like elderberry, olive leaf extract, black seed oil? Powerful question. Powerful question. But the answer to that would be no. The answer to that would be no. And the reason why I say that is because your body has certain things that it needs. These particular items, they have what the body needs. So your body will never get immune to taking what it needs from a particular food, from a particular extract, whatever it is, from a particular oil. So no, your body will never get immune to that. As long as your body needs it, it will take from that what it needs. So the answer to that is no. Like if your body is deficient in vitamin C, and you consuming some strawberries that contain some vitamin C, your body will take that vitamin C from the strawberry every time that it needs it, because that's something that your body needs. So all of those things that you mentioned, they all contain things in which the body needs in order to strengthen the immune system. So it will not become immune to those things. And then the thing is, and to answer that, to go further with it, if the body becomes immune to those things, that only means that it has enough of what it needs. So if the body becomes immune to something that is good, that's a good thing, meaning that it no longer needs that. So if your body, say vitamin C, for instance, if your body became immune to the vitamin C, it's only becoming immune to the vitamin C because it has enough. So that'll actually be a good thing for the stuff that we need. Like if your body said, all right, I'm done taking the vitamin C, that's because I have enough vitamin C. So that'll be that though. Yeah, bona fide. And when they tell me such and such said something is bad, I said, but what do you say? What do you think based on your research, not what somebody told you? I've listened to all them people say soy is bad, and I can tell you all, everybody on here, and I might get crucified, but when you start really studying soy, non-GMO soy, I gotta clarify that once again, you will find out it's not as bad as you are thinking, especially in moderation. Nick, I prefer barbells all day, every day. If I got a barbell with enough weight to put on it, I'm good. Montel, oh, you leg, man, I'm the leg king. I'm the leg king. So I got all type of leg exercises for you. I'm a leg king. You know, I play running back, so we had to have legs. So I'm a leg king. I got a bunch of leg workouts. All right, Keisha, you say some exercises to lose the stomach for women at home. All right, so this is the way you want to do it. I'm going to give you a basic kind of ab, aka core routine or regimen. Real basic. Start off with some planks. All right, you go planks, go 3 rounds, 30 seconds. Then you want to do some crunches, the high crunches. First, you want to start with no weight. So you want to do about 3 sets, 15 to 20 reps of the high crunches. Then you want to do something that's rotational. So that'll be some seated twists. So that's when you sit, legs on the ground, knees crossed. I'm not knees crossed. I like to cross my legs. And you had the legs up, so the knees up toward the chest. Then you want to just tap the ground side to side. That's rotation, side to side. So you go about 3 rounds, 30 seconds for that. Then you want to do something that touches the side obliques. So you can do like a side crunch, or you could do like side bends or side lunges. So if you want to do side bends, I would recommend grabbing something that has some weight to it and then just doing some side bends or side crunches with that weight. And you want to do about 3 sets, 15 to 20 of those. If you're doing the side crunches, same thing, about 3 sets, 15 to 20 reps. If you're doing the side lunges, then you want to do about 3 rounds and 15 seconds on each side. So that's a real basic ab routine to follow to start with. Kurt Sr., when it comes to third shifters, I actually train a few. Some of the third shifters that I have, they come right to me right after they get off. I would probably recommend that because it's like, I feel like for the most part, when they tend to go to sleep on that third shift, they have a hard time. They have a hard time exercising. And I know if I was one to work the third shift, if I was one to work the third shift, I more than likely would have to get it over with right when I get off. So that's what I recommend. The third shifters that I have trained, I feel like the ones that it work out the best for, they get it in right when they get off. The people that try to go to sleep, come in there, never works. They always end up contacting me like I overslept. So that tends to never work. So I recommend, Kurt, just get it right in while you're already up. Just get it in. It ain't even gonna take that long. Just get it in for 30 to 45 minutes, then get you some sleep. Don't prolong it. Don't do it. You go to sleep, more than likely you're not about to get it in. Mr. KD Harris, peace. What's going on? Yeah, bona fide, and that's basically what I'm saying. So basically, when your body becomes immune to stuff like that, we get rid of it through like urination and stuff like that. So yeah, so to access like vitamin C or to access protein, like we urinate, like we get rid of it through the urine and stuff like that. So that's typically what happens when we become immune to the good stuff, which again is a positive. Yeah, D, like I said, when it comes to certain, and that's a tricky thing too, which is why the body is wise. But that's a tricky thing too. Sometimes it's certain vitamins and minerals that you don't necessarily want to overdo. That's why they always talk about balance. Like people talk about low iron, but if you consume too much iron, it's gonna almost have the same effect as if you had low iron levels. So certain vitamins and minerals and macronutrients and micronutrients you want to watch out for. You don't want to overdo them. You don't want to overdo anything for that matter. But your body is all wise and intelligent, man. So it has ways to rid itself of excess anything. But you don't want to make it continuously do that, though. That's not necessarily a good thing. And that's going to more than likely impact the kidneys or your liver. So you don't want the body to be overworking to try to get rid of a lot of excess on a day-to-day basis. So you want to make sure you deal with balance. And again, the things are called minerals for a reason. So MIN, meaning you don't need a large amount of it. So anything that falls under the mineral category, like you really don't need to overconsume something that contains a lot of a certain mineral, because it's called a mineral for a reason. You need a minimal amount of it. It's not that much. They are very important to have, but you don't need to consume a lot. That's why it's called a mineral. Bona fide, most definitely. And like I said, man, a lot of people just don't like. It's a lot of research behind soy that a lot of people just have not dug into. Oh, D, yeah, we already know. Yeah, we already know the way they push the milk and how trash milk is for us. We already know. Mr. Katie, hey, 2021 is about to be all of y'all's year, man. Whatever goals that y'all have to accomplish, y'all about to accomplish them in 2021. I don't care what the goal is. I don't care if you feel like it's far-fetched. I know that it ain't far-fetched. Y'all about to accomplish whatever it is that y'all want to accomplish in 2021. I'm talking about your health and fitness goals, your financial goals, your mental goals, whatever goal that you got. 2021, I guarantee you, you will manifest it. It's about to be all of y'all's year, man. I'm calling it right here. So when y'all come back, the end of 2021, and y'all done manifested an abundance of success, remember, y'all heard it here first. Y'all heard it here first. Masculine mindset, yep. And that's what a lot of people that I train that work the third shift, they got to come right to me because they flat out then told me, it's like, man, if I go home, I'm done. Like I'm not coming to work out. So hey, they honest. And when I was in the gym, when I used to work out in the gym, when I trained at Golds, it was a lot of people in the morning. They was coming straight from work, and that was the reason. Jay Capers, I don't take any multivitamin. The only vitamins that I recommend is 2, but you can get vitamin B12 from like nutritional yeast. So and fortified cereals and fortified milks contain some B12. So you can get your B12 without taking a vitamin. But if I did recommend any type of like supplement like that, it would be vitamin D for sure. Vitamin D for sure. Vitamin D for sure, depending on your climate. So if you're in a climate like I am, where it gets very cold and you're not going outside getting enough sunlight, then you most definitely need to take something containing some vitamin D. Most definitely need to be taking a supplement, a vitamin D supplement. Most definitely. If you're in a warmer climate, then you may be good. You may be getting enough sunlight. But if you're not, vitamin D is definitely something that you want to make sure you're taking. And or vitamin B12, because a lot of people tend to be deficient in B12 because they don't consume like the nutritional yeast and then those fortified cereals and or milks that contain the B12. So if you're not consuming those foods, then B12 is something that I would recommend as well. Other than that, it's easy to get everything else from what you eat. Oh, Keisha, yeah, the eight glasses a day. 8 glasses a day. And again, and another thing, y'all have heard me talk about this one though, but if you're striving to get rid of your some belly fat, try this technique called super hydration. Drink an ice cold gallon of water a day. That's going to help expedite the process. It's going to speed up the process for burning that belly fat. Ice cold gallon of water a day. Try that technique and let me know how you feel. Guarantee you will start seeing that. You'll see that stomach shrink. Ice cold gallon of water a day. It's called super hydration. All right, so D got another good question here. Is there any vital vitamins or minerals that we can't have together and are suggested to take at separate times? I like to take magnesium, but was told the calcium I consume will neutralize it. You know what's crazy about what you just said there, D? It's crazy because you talk about calcium and magnesium. Well, when it comes to calcium, a lot of people talk about how you should consume, like drink the milk for the calcium. But the calcium will not get to the bones without magnesium. So calcium needs magnesium in order for calcium to actually do what it's supposed to do. Without the magnesium, the calcium will not get to your bones. So you can drink a lot of milk, you can eat a lot of calcium-rich foods, but if you're not consuming an adequate amount of magnesium, then your bones will still be frail, weak, and fragile. So for the most part, is there any vital vitamins and minerals that you should not basically mix together? I wouldn't say that there are any like vitamins and minerals that you shouldn't like mix, but that's on a macronutrient level. When it comes to like proteins and like starches and things like that, that's when you should go talk about proper food combination. But when it comes to the vitamins and minerals, no, not off the rip. There are not any vitamins or minerals that you really shouldn't take together because, again, they all kind of need each other to do their proper function. But when we're talking about combining, we more so talking about the macronutrients like the proteins, the carbs, you know, the starches and all that type of stuff, man, like mixing a protein with a sugary food. Like you never want to do that. And then like the steak and potatoes, like that's the American dish. but that is an improper combination, like steak and potatoes. You got your protein-rich food and you have your starchy-rich food. Like, you don't need to combine those type of foods. So on that level, that's when food combination or food combining comes into play. So you don't want to be mixing that heavy protein-rich food and that heavy starch food, because different enzymes are required to digest and absorb the food. So you wreaking a lot of havoc on the body when you combine like that protein-rich food, that steak, and then that starchy-rich food, the potato. Oh, Mr. KD, most definitely. Positive vibes only. That's it. That's all we dealing with. Powerful, positive, prosperous vibes only. That's it. Sharif, in peace. What's going on with you? Masculine mindset, most definitely. Yeah, definitely have you something set up at the crib. Josh T. I don't know if you take like burdock root. That's pretty solid. Ginger root. That's also pretty solid. Those two things, I recommend those. Yeah, sea moss is definitely lit. Yeah, sea moss is definitely beneficial. And yeah, vitamin D is crucial, man. Vitamin D is crucial, and vitamin D can also play a role in calcium absorption. So vitamin D is just crucial on all type of levels, man. You need to make sure you're getting the proper amount or adequate amount of vitamin D, man. So definitely get you a supplement if you're in a colder climate. Most definitely. And then like I talked about this yesterday, but like iron, because a lot of my sisters, a lot of my women, they suffer from low iron levels. So one thing to also consider, which the doctors do not tell you, but when it comes to your iron levels, make sure you are consuming enough vitamin C. Vitamin C helps the iron get properly absorbed by the body. So if you are deficient in vitamin C, that can cause your iron levels to be low. So you can be consuming a lot of iron-rich foods, but if you are not consuming enough vitamin C, then that iron is not being properly absorbed by the body, especially if you are consuming plant-based sources of iron. That's the non-heme iron. The plant-based sources of iron are harder to absorb by the body. So you definitely want to make sure you are consuming enough vitamin C if you are consuming the plant-based sources of iron. So you want to make sure you're getting that vitamin C up along with the iron-rich foods. So you can be taking iron pills and all that type of stuff, man. But you need to make sure you're consuming the vitamin C along with that. And that's one thing that they don't tell. I know that they don't tell women that. They just give them those iron pills. How do I know? Because I've trained a few, and they don't let them know about the iron and vitamin C connection. Masculine mindset. I don't know if you are on Instagram or like Facebook, but you can type in my name, Eric Bell, on one of those, man, and I can shoot you everything. And be looking out for the website, y'all, man. I got my product. I got my supplement powder. It's a supplement powder, not a protein powder. So a lot of people heard me talk about powders, different ball game. When it comes to supplement powders, like the superfoods, like the sea moss, chlorella, and all that, those are good in powder form. Protein powders are the problem. But like the sea moss, the chlorella, spirulina, wheatgrass, those in powder form, cool. But I got a immune boosting powder that I got. It's gonna help build up that immune system, and it may help you crank up your energy level as well. So I got my labels coming in tomorrow, so I'm gonna put them up on my website and have them available to purchase probably tomorrow night, tomorrow evening, or Thursday. But I got my immune boosting powders, man. So it's gonna boost that immune system. You can put them in smoothies when you cooking food, man. You can sprinkle it. You can sprinkle it in the food that you cooking. However you want to use this powder, you can use it. Like my mom, she been using it. She been sprinkling in stuff that she was cooking. That's how she been using. You can sprinkle it in some smoothies, man. You can, if you eat some yogurt or something. I'm not a fan of yogurt, but if you eating like yogurt or oatmeal, you can sprinkle this powder in the oatmeal or the yogurt. but it's going to help with the immune system. It's going to boost that immune system, keep it strong, and it may help boost that energy. But I'm going to have that available. I'm going to have that available probably Thursday. Yeah, D, I take this. I got the sea moss powder. Oh, Keisha, most definitely. I'm actually starting to get more into the health and fitness, like the nutrition and all that type of stuff. I'm getting more into that content because I don't even feel like it. I know my people need that information. My people need this information more than anything, man. It's a very unhealthy society out here. Like things are not getting better in regards to like our overall health and fitness. Like things are not getting better at all. It's actually kind of scary. And instead of people doing something about it, a lot of people are like just justifying just being lazy, being dormant, being inert, not moving, not eating correctly, like not taking care of themselves. Like people are justifying this nonsense, man. So I got to put an end to that. Got to put an end to that. Yeah, D, man, misinformation is crazy, man. It's a lot of things, man. Nutrition can be complicated. Nutrition can be complicated. Fitness and all of that. All of this stuff is actually complicated. That's why a lot of people, that's another reason why a lot of people fail to reach their goals, because they try to go at it alone. I'm like, man, that's the reason why somebody such as myself is here. We're going to do the research for you because it can be complicated, man. If you ever, like if you're trying to lose weight and you just Google how to lose weight, man, you're going to come across a lot of conflicting information. So it's going to be hard to decipher what's accurate and what's not accurate. So it can get overwhelming. So when I see a lot of people try to go at it alone, it's hard. It's rough because it's a lot of overwhelming and conflicting information out here in regards to like an approach for everything. So if you want to lose weight and you Google that, gonna be a lot of conflicting information. You want to gain weight, you want to put on muscle, gonna be a lot of conflicting information in regards to how to do it the healthy way. So it's a lot of conflicting information out here, man. So the misinformation is definitely dangerous because it's so easy to just look up anything. So it's really easy to be misinformed. You think that if it's on the first page of Google, then it got some credibility. No, those are the most deceptive pages sometimes. Joe So Blessed. Big Joe. Peace. What's going on? Josh T, you got a female training client that wants to gain lean mass. One of the things you definitely want to put her on is the intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is the best way to get that, to acquire that lean mass that preserves the muscle mass. So intermittent fasting is crucial. Intermittent fasting is crucial. Then other than that, you already know, whole food, plant-based type of lifestyle. So she want to get her greens in, and she want to get her complex carbs in. So a lot of veggies, a lot of greens. Get a lot of greens in, man. Do some intermittent fasting. So a lot of greens, a lot of veggies. She can do the whole grains. I might say stay away from the whole wheat and the bread. We tend to overdo the bread, but she could definitely do the whole grains. Get her beans in, man. So she want to go plant-based, whole foods, eat real food, then make sure she incorporate some intermittent fasting, and she'd be good to roll. She'd be good to roll. She'll lean out rather quickly. Oh, Bonafide, yeah, I've heard about that tea. Yeah, vitamin C. You know what's crazy? And I talked about this before, I believe. And I was looking in the store. This is why I'm about to bring this up when it comes to vitamin C. I talked about in the video. It was like a video in the past, but I talked about other sources of vitamin D. Some foods that contain a lot more vitamin D than an orange. I was talking about strawberries, like bell peppers, broccoli, was it papayas? It was a lot of foods, man, that had more vitamin C per serving than an orange. Then I walked in the store yesterday, the grocery store, and I just wanted to look at the vitamins and the supplements and all of that. So I looked at vitamin C, and the way they had the wrapper, they had all oranges on there. And I'm like, that's crazy. I was like, man, the orange, it's a lot of other foods that have more vitamin C per serving than this orange. So it's like the people that are in these grocery stores marketing this particular product are not even informed on that. So somebody going to be buying that vitamin C, seeing an orange on that. And I noticed, I was like, that's why we associate vitamin C with an orange. We've been programmed to do that. If I came up to somebody and said, man, you know, this bell pepper or this chili pepper contains more vitamin C per serving than an orange, you probably look at me crazy. It's like, I think it's to the point where we think the only thing that contains a lot of vitamin C is an orange. I feel like a lot of people don't think you can get vitamin C from anything other than an actual orange or orange juice. It's got to be orange. And I'm going to give you one good, man. I got another book that talked about an orange, the actual color, the true color of an orange is actually green. So the actual oranges that we see they don't contain that much vitamin C because it's not in its normal form, which it should be green. So if we was consuming the actual orange when it was green, then it would have enough vitamin C. So the reason why the actual orange doesn't have a lot of vitamin C is because it's not actually supposed to be orange. I don't know if y'all all have heard that, but that's some interesting information. So the reason why the orange that you know or that you see don't have the amount of vitamin C that we think is because it's naturally supposed to be green. So if we was consuming it in that form, then it probably would be one of the highest sources of vitamin C. Oh, Sharif, man. Got to get back to it. Got to get back to it. Yeah, D, and that's all they doing. Like, you know, and that's what I talked about. I talked about this in the video. A lot of people be like, oh, man, want to get this channel to blow. Woo, woo, all that good stuff. I'm like, man, do y'all know? Again, I always talk about it. I hate mentioning it because I got a lot of debt behind it. But one of my college degrees is marketing. I know exactly what I could do to blow up overnight. Do y'all know how, like, I can create one of those diets in my sleep. I can easily create a diet or a 30-day weight loss, this, that, and the third. I can easily fall in line and start doing that. Like some of y'all favorite fitness people do, creating all these routines, overcharging people for some real simple stuff. You know, I can easily do that. I can easily do that. Blow up overnight. It's some things that I can say and do that would cause me to blow up overnight, but that goes against my morals. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not about to go out here and create some type of garbage diet just to help you lose weight for 60 days. Then once you get off the diet, then I know good and well in my mind that you're going to put the weight back on. No, I'm all about lifestyle. I'm all about longevity. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. And that's how I function. That's how I operate. I'm not out here for shock value. I'm not striving to say things for shock value. I'm out trying to help y'all just create a new lifestyle for yourselves, man. And that's slow and steady. That takes time. So I'm not about to come promise you something in 30 days and 60 days. Not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I can easily create those products, but I never create a product like that. The best y'all going to get from me is the book for $5.99 where I put enough jewels in there, and I feel like that can help a lot of people. But somebody, like another person in the fitness space, they would have gave y'all a simple workout program that you can easily look up, and they would have charged you $40 for it. I didn't support it. I didn't support the people like that, literally. And I just support people off the strength. But I have bought workout routines that were not rocket science, man. It's easy. Like something I could have came up with in my sleep just by watching people. And I didn't pay like $40 for them just because I'm supporting the people off the strength. But I'm not going to lie to you, man. That's like that's kind of like a ripoff, man. That's a ripoff, man. You shouldn't be paying like $40 for something like that, man. It's just it's a ripoff, man. Especially if you're not giving any type of like nutritional advice. So when I give people a routine, I'm going to attach some nutritional advice to it. Like, I'm not just going to sell somebody like a weightlifting routine, man, and not give them some other benefits to it. So there's little stuff like that that's going on that I can easily be on here doing, but I'm not. Oh, Montel, like I said, man, and I'm in kindergarten when it comes to like information on nutrition, man. I got a lot of nutritional books that I've yet to break open that everything is only going to grow from here. I mean, it's a lot to be uncovered. It's a lot to be uncovered when it comes to like nutrition and that whole subject matter. But that's my duty. So all of y'all people that's tuning in, y'all ain't got to worry about studying nutrition. I'm gonna do it for you. Just like we got the neighborhood mechanic. I'm not worried about mastering how to fix a car, man. I got somebody that's gonna do that for me. I'm taking that load off my shoulder. Working smarter, not harder. So you want to find somebody that you trust in regards to something that's outside of your realm of like interest, something that you're not necessarily devoted to, something that you may not have time to devote yourself to. You want to find a trusted authority, somebody that you can trust. And then you want to rock with them. You want to rock with them. You want to rock with them. So, man, like if finance is if you want to improve your financial situation, man, find you a financial guru. Find you somebody that you feel like you can trust. Rock with them. Rock with them. And you see it all the time. Like, y'all got people like in the financial industry. You got people that follow like the rich dad, poor dad dude. Then you got people who follow people like Dave Ramsey. Then you got people who follow, who listen to people like Boyce Watkins. Like, you got people that's going to gravitate towards one person in that industry. And for the most part, it's like it's either their way or the highway. If that's how you got to do it, that's how you got to roll. But like a lot of people don't have time to be studying nutrition like that. So you got to find you somebody that's willing to do that work for you, because it's a daunting task. It can be complicated trying to study and dig through all that material. If you don't have time to do it, like if your profession is something else and you got to dedicate 12, 13, 14 hours to your profession, whatever it may be, you don't have time to master health and nutrition. So you got to trust somebody else. You got to trust somebody else, man. You got to leave that to somebody else to do that work for you. And you just listen, insert, implement what it is that they are striving to tell you based off of the research. But you got to find a respected person, somebody that you respect in regards to their information. Oh, Josh, man, she's still consuming the pork. Oh, I thought she might have been past that. Yeah, you got to get her off of those foods. Yeah, whoa. Yeah, Josh, I ain't know that. I'm thinking she's semi-decent. Yeah, she got a little way to go. Yeah, we got to get her off the bad foods though. Shakira, peace, what's going on? Yeah, Montel, most that was some interesting information when they told me an orange is actually supposed to be green. I was like, whoa. Yeah, so basically you seeing like a modified version of the orange in its orange state. Like that was some. I was like, man, why are they lying about an orange? Yo, like, why are they doing that to an orange? What's going on here? Like, why? Oh, Keisha, most definitely. I will definitely let her know. Francis, yeah, I've done a lot of full body strength training routines. Just depending on where you at. So if you just getting started, I recommend a full body strength training routine. Like I'm powerlifting right now, so I break my days up. So I got pretty much like a day where I focus on squats and then the accessory movements for the squat to help with that. Then I got my deadlift days and I do my accessory movements for that. So that's almost like back day, arm day, or biceps. And then I have my day where I focus on bench press. So that's going to be a little bit shoulders, a little bit of triceps. So I break my days up like that because I'm powerlifting. So it just depends on what the person is training for and what they striving to do. But if you just get into the swing of things and you want to weight lift, then I definitely recommend starting with a full body strength training routine. That's the way I start off everybody. If this your first time doing it, we're going to go full body. We're going to hit each body part each session at least 3 times a week. Oh, Mr. Katie Harris, you already know how I go. You already know how I go. I got a goal for this channel, man, in regards to the information. Like I said, I talked about K Reno being one of my favorite MCs. His strategy, man, that dude dropped like an album every other freaking month. One of my things on YouTube, I just want to take it over. Every time you look up, I want to be on this joint dropping information. So like that's my goal, man, to just take over to the point where they can't ignore this information, because every time they look up, they gonna see me. So that's what I'm aiming for. Like that's how I do it. I'm oversaturating. Forget what they say about doing something too much. I don't even care about that. Y'all gonna get tired of me. I'm gonna be on this joint every time I got something to say. Every time I come across some information that I feel like is useful, I'm jumping on. They're gonna have a hard time getting rid of me because I'm gonna just keep coming on here. Mind control. Appreciate the donation. Got a question. How significant is rest for fitness goals? Very significant. Matter of fact, if you've been working out religiously and you've been working out hard and you realize you've hit a wall, like you see your strength declining, you see the weight coming back on, you feeling more tired, then one of the things you might want to do is scale it back and rest. That's why I incorporate a deload week in my training. So basically every 4 weeks, I scale back my training, meaning I lift lighter loads. It's less intense. So I'm getting more rest, giving my muscles a chance to rejuvenate. Resting is actually more important than working out. Like the resting portion is more important than working out. So rest is definitely crucial, definitely big for fitness goals. Make sure you rest because that's when you actually get the gains while you are resting, while you are sleeping. So a lot of people right now have a trouble with weight, like they can't get the weight off because they're not getting enough sleep. You get enough sleep, that can actually solve your problem. That could be one of the things that solve your problem, getting enough sleep. So a lot of people got a gut right now and got some weight right now that's stubborn and won't leave because they not getting enough sleep. So rest is, man, rest, if it's not the most important, is number 2. Yeah, Lorenzo, and that chlorophyll, basically anything you see that's green is loaded with the chlorophyll. Yeah, organic oranges. Keep everything organic, like Larry June says. If y'all don't know who Larry June is, it's a hilarious dude, but he always talk about keeping everything organic. It must be organic, he says. I agree. All right, Sharif, man. So, all right. So if you got experience with everything and you want to start back to losing weight, I would start with the strength training. I'm a big advocate of strength training. So I would go back to the strength training basics, find you a basic strength training routine and stick to it. And then you can incorporate all elements of that though. You can incorporate all elements of that. So at the end of a strength training, and cardio and HIIT training are the same to me. So I don't like steady state cardio. The reason why, and I should do a whole video on this, but the reason why I don't like steady state cardio and the reason why people need to stop doing it, for one, because we walk incorrectly and it's damaging your knees. But one thing about steady state cardio, when you get on a treadmill for that long period of time, that you see people in the gym on a treadmill 45 minutes to an hour, or the elliptical, whatever it is that they choose to get on. What happens is you are only burning calories for the time that you are on that particular machine. Once you step off of that machine, all the calories that you burn, that's it. When you strength train, when you lift weights, you are burning calories all throughout the day. So you're not just burning calories while you are lifting the weight. You are burning calories while you are resting. You are burning calories while you are asleep. And that is caused by the weightlifting. Steady state cardio, you are only burning calories for the time that you are doing the cardio. I don't like that. We don't like that. We want to burn calories throughout the day. And so I eliminate cardio, steady state cardio. HIIT training is a form of cardio because it gets the heart rate up. That's cardio. So I would start with a strength training workout. Then at the end of that workout, I like to call it, I like to say we going out with a bang. So I like to tell my clients, I got a bang for you to go out with. So I call it going out with a bang. So at the end of your strength training workout, go out with a bang and do you some HIIT training. So lift them heavy weights in the beginning. Then at the end, do you a circuit style, like a circuit HIIT training type regimen or workout, and go out with that bang. So that's what I recommend. All right, Marcus G, when it comes to insomnia, I can relate because that's something that I definitely suffer from that myself. But here's something that I found works for me. It may sound odd at first, but it works. It knocks you cold out. You can take some sesame oil or some olive oil, massage your feet with the oil, put you some socks on and lay down and you will be knocked out. You'll be knocked out. So find you some olive oil or some sesame oil, massage your feet with the oil for like maybe 1-2 minutes, put you some socks on, and that insomnia will be gone. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. And then also practice some meditation, man, because that puts the mind at ease. For the most part, the insomnia for me is created through anxiety, man, just thinking too much. So I got to put the mind at ease. So meditation is cool, but man, when you rub that oil on the bottom of your feet, you massage it, man, you put them socks on, man, you will be knocked out. Never fails. Montel, man, I appreciate all y'all tapping in and tuning in. Bona fide? No, I would choose local. That's a good question. Let me highlight the question. Bona fide bloom, would you do organic over local? I would choose local. For the most part, depending on who the local is, for the most part, that would be organic. But my goal is to just start growing my own stuff, man. So that's gonna be my goal. Oh, D, yeah, Larry June is hilarious. That dude funny. Josh, do I use different workout methods for men and women? It depends on the goals, but for the most part, I have the women going just as hard as the men. Yeah, for the most part, I had the women lifting heavy and hard just like the men. And sadly enough, the women, not sadly enough, but more times than enough, the women actually be going harder than the men that I train. So, but I have the women, like, I don't hold no punches. Like, women, you can't be afraid to lift heavy. Go ahead, lift heavy, get down and dirty. You're not gonna look like a man. So I tell them that all the time. I don't deal with that. I don't know how to train people soft, so I train them just like I train anybody else. I treat everybody equally. I don't discriminate when I train. So you a woman, you're gonna be working out just as hard as if I would have a dude. And a matter of fact, I have some dudes in my classes. So I treat them all equally. Oh, Sharif, man, I already spoke it into existence. Man, y'all ain't gotta work. Listen, y'all ain't got to worry about manifesting and speaking into existence. I've already done it for you. So yeah, it's already happened. You got to live what they say. You got to live your life as if it has already happened, as if you have already conquered the goal. So you got to tell yourself it's already happened. You already conquered it. Whatever the fitness goal is, you already did it. Like you already, that's the mentality. That's the mentality to adopt. It's already done. You want to lose 30 pounds? Nah, you already lost that 30 pounds. So just analyze how your life would be when you lose 30 pounds and start living like that. Living like you already dropped the 30 pounds. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Whatever go, if you striving to be a millionaire, study the way that millionaires live. I don't care if it feels out of reach. Start living like you already a millionaire. Start doing it. That's the way to truly manifest, man. Live as if it's already done, as if it's already accomplished. You've already done it. You've already done it. The best things for me, man, is just like meditations, affirmations, and then journaling. Like when I journal, I get all that off my mind. So journaling is the best thing for me. And then reading something like positive, like a little positive book or something before you go to sleep, like that's also helpful too. But affirmations, reading a positive book, about 5 pages in that positive book, meditation, man, sometimes drinking certain teas will help calm you down, calm the nerve, calm the nerves. Do some light stretching. That's also helpful. Bonafide, another good question. Another good question. If I live under a flight path, should I not grow food outside? That's a good question. It can get tricky because we could be dealing with some pollution. We could be dealing with some pollution. So you have to be mindful of that. I would say you can attempt to do it and just see how your body responds. Because y'all already know the little muscle test that I gave you to determine whether or not something is good or bad for you. So all you got to do, if you grow the food outside, then you got to do that. You got to do that test. You got to hold that product up to your chest, Then you just got to stand in that relaxed state, close the eyes, and you either going to swing forward or backwards. If you swing forward, it means it's good. You swing backwards, that means it's bad. So I would say experiment. So grow the food outside initially, and then whatever food that you grow outside, do that experiment and see what your body is telling you. Yeah, bona fide. The ambiances, the crickets. I don't know what it is about them crickets. When you hear some crickets, man, just put you in a different zone mentally. I don't know what it is about crickets. But yeah, journaling definitely helps me. Francis, so you think about exercises for strengthening the neck. I don't necessarily do any neck strengthening exercises, but you do have, man, it's like a little, I don't want to call it a helmet, but it's like a little thing that you put on your head that you can attach a weight to it, and you can bring your head up and down like that. That strengthens the neck. And then obviously the neck stretch, when you go around like that and then reverse it, that can help with the neck. But I don't necessarily do any neck strengthening exercises. But those things can help though. I just stretch it, man. So I roll it one way for about 10 seconds and then roll it the other way. Yeah, D, I'm with you on that, man. I be slacking it. I be slacking on my journaling, and I pay the price every time I slack. So consistency is real big. Consistency is real big when it comes to things like that, man. Just staying consistent. And man, Magic Ring, man, I might got like 20 different journals. Man, I got a bunch of different journals. It'd be crazy. Like I'm so much of a journalholic that like I love pens, man. Like if you come across a good pen, man, that's a good feeling for me, man. Just a smooth writing pen. I love pens for that reason. Yeah, Magic Ring, yeah, the nature sounds. Yeah, man, like the little water, the little ocean sounds, like rain or something, like light rain. That's crazy. That'll knock you out too. Yeah, D. If you seen people do that, I think I know what you're talking about. If they holding the weight, a lot of people hold the weight sometimes and do declines, and they have them by the ear, and then they take like that elbow and bring it to like the opposite knee. That's working the side obliques a little bit. So I used to do that at a point. Oh, D, you talking about that every day and every way my life is getting better and better. That's that joint. Like when I'm telling you, every time I do that consistently, man, some good things start happening. I start getting clients and all type of stuff start going on. Yeah, so that one is powerful. Every day and every way, my life is getting better and better. 20 times in the morning, 20 times at night. Montel, you got 30 of them joints. Yeah, you got me beat, but I might have about 20, like 15 to 20. Oh, oh no, yeah, just their neck. Nah, son, no. See, some people be some people be doing too much. Like some people be doing some weird stuff when it comes to working out, man. Sometimes, man, it ain't really that deep. Yeah, sometimes it ain't really that deep. Some people be doing some extreme stuff in the gym, and it don't even be that serious. That's one of them moments when you see those videos of what not to do in the gym or what not to do while working out. That would make that. Yeah, Terenzo, that hydroponics indoor, that's crucial. That's definitely crucial. But yeah, man, sometimes, man, you don't really have to be doing nothing crazy. And a lot of times people just be doing some crazy stuff for no reason in the gym, man. It's like, I don't know. And a lot of people think I'll be doing some real crazy stuff. And I do the basics. I squat, deadlift, and I don't even do crazy reps and stuff like that. Like, I don't do anything that's crazy. And that's how you start hurting yourself, man. I keep it simple and I stick to the basics for the most part. I might do a few things that might be off the wall here and there because, again, I got the athletic background. So we did a lot of, balance training and stuff like that, man. So I may do some things like that may throw you off a little bit, but I'm mostly sticking to the basics. James Brown, peace, man. You be easy out here, my brother. Dude got James Brown, the name of one of the GOATs. Like James Brown, that I just really tripped off his name being James Brown. I don't know if that's his actual name or or what, but yeah, James Brown, that's the name. Yeah, D, I did. I actually, yeah, ego lifting is a dangerous thing. Ego lifting is a dangerous thing, and I used to be that one, and it wasn't even more so. It was just like just kind of overestimating my strength at times. So I may just underestimate like a lightweight to me, but it's like it's heavy to somebody else, and I may underestimate it. So like I take some like deadlifting or squatting like 300 pounds or something. To me, like that's actually nothing. But like nah, like I got to take proper precautions when handling that amount of poundage. I don't care how I view it, because things can go wrong. All it takes for is a minor move in the wrong direction, and you done. Jamar, peace. What's going on? Oh, D, man, you yeah, D that, yeah. I think almost everybody done been there, done that before with deadlifting. Deadlifting is a dangerous game to play. Deadlifting can get real, man. It don't take much for that deadlift to go wrong. So that you definitely want to be safe when it comes to deadlifting and squatting. But man, I know some of everybody that then messed up the back while deadlifting. People don't even necessarily mess with the squats. People just afraid of the squats because they don't know how to squat. But deadlifting, man, people be thinking they can pick that bar up any type of way, man, tear their backs up. Yeah, people tear their backs up when it comes to deadlifting. So you definitely want to be cautious, man. Form is everything. Make sure the form is proper. Make sure the form is proper when it comes to squatting, deadlifting, and anything for that matter. And for instance, when it comes to dealing with the grade 1 strain, then you gotta take that what's it called? The rice approach. So you just rest it, ice it, compress it, and then just elevate. So you take that approach, man, and it should heal itself. It should definitely heal itself. And then obviously with anything, man, you just want to make sure you're eating the proper foods, the whole foods, and that can also help with recovery as well. Montel, most definitely. Analyze everything with a critical eye. I think I learned that from Phil Valentine. But analyze everything with a critical eye. Look at everything with that critical eye. That must be done. That's something that you must do. Magic Rims and Montel, man, y'all already know that I know. It's some people I've seen deadlifted. I had to go like, man, you just don't want you just stop deadlifting. Don't do it. Deadlifting is not for everybody, man. Some people are just it hurts me watching them. And squatting is the same way. I actually don't know what's worse, the squat or the deadlift. I think the squat got the deadlift beat. Because man, people squat terribly. Lindell, and when it comes to chiropractors, man, I'm kind of iffy. Now, it's some decent chiropractors out here. You just got to find a decent one. You got to find a decent one. But the thing with the chiropractor, man, because a lot of it you're dealing with a back issue. So for the most part, you got to get to the root cause of why your back is messed up in the first place. And for the most part, that may have something to do with posture. So the chiropractor can temporarily fix the situation for you, like popping your back. You see the things that they do. But if you don't keep going to that chiropractor consistently, you continue to have the problem because you didn't treat the root cause. So a lot of people have went to chiropractors and they incorrectly say that the chiropractor wasn't effective and it didn't work. Well, that's because they may have been going once a week, and then outside of the time that they were not going to the chiropractor, they wasn't doing anything else to help with the situation. That's almost like coming to me once a week as a trainer and you not losing your weight because you're not doing the homework that I've given you to do outside of our sessions, and then blaming me and saying I'm a bad trainer and I'm not effective. No, you can't reach a weight loss goal with one session out of the week and then you're not doing anything else outside of that. That's not how that works. So a lot of people go to the chiropractors and they may not go enough, and they may still experience the back pain after they go to them once or twice a month or something, or once a week, and they may still experience that back pain. That's because you got to adjust the root cause, and it's probably your posture. So you need to make sure you are doing it's a routine that I got on here. So you need to find something that you could be doing like 4 to 5 times a week to help kind of realign the spine. But the chiropractor is like a temporary fix, something that you definitely will have to consistently keep going to. It's like a trainer. Like your chiropractor, if you got a real bad back issue, you may have to treat him like a trainer, somebody you see very often. Good question again, D. Are you one that commits to one style and switch up every once in a while? Or do you like to incorporate many things? I love weights, but I'm starting to love calisthenics more. I am Bruce Lee. I incorporate many things. I'm always doing calisthenics. I incorporate many things. I'm gonna give y'all a good thing to do. I'm actually training for something specific for a reason right now, but outside of that, I'm gonna give y'all a jewel. Never do the same workout twice. Always do a different workout every day. That's taking a page out of the CrossFit book. I ain't necessarily a CrossFit fan, but man, just get creative with your workouts, man. Do something different every freaking workout. Challenge yourself every freaking workout. Every workout, do something different, man. That's how I hit my clients. They don't know what's coming. There ain't no telling what I had you do. I'm always switching it up. Yeah, Keisha, man, we definitely know your limits. And yeah, Sweet Tea, it's real simple with the correct way to squat. Real simple. For the most part, a lot of people, they start bending right at the knee. Incorrect. Got to throw the hips back. You got to throw the hips back. They say, imagining that you're sitting like on a toilet. You know, that sounds gross, but like imagine you trying to sit on the toilet, like you're going to throw the hips back and you're going to sit down from that position. Your knees should never come past your toes. That's the key indicator. When you are squatting, the knees should never come past the toes. So depending on, and as far as the stance, your feet, the width of your feet, you can, if you widen the stance, you touching more of the hamstrings. So if you want to work the hamstrings, if you want to focus more on your hamstrings, then you can widen the stance. If you want to focus more on your quads, then you want to have a traditional stance, which is about shoulder width apart. Then you want to have the toes slightly pointed outward, and you want to just make sure you're sitting back. You should almost, when you down and when you in the down position of the squat, you should be almost leaning back and falling back on your heels. If you coming forward when you squatting, if you're in that down position and you about to fall forward, that's incorrect. You're doing it on your toes. Don't do that. You should be sitting back on those heels. You should be sitting back. So you should be almost about to fall back. So a lot of people, man, they go, the first thing that move is the knee. That is not right when it comes to squatting. It should be, you should throw the hips back first. That's the first thing that moves. Hips should go back first. Then you sit down. That is the proper way to squat. But I definitely do a video though, demonstrating that, because it's better to see that. Francis, let me see. Another. And Bonafide, I've heard about chiropractors hurting people. So I've actually heard that. So gotta make sure you find the right chiropractor, because that's crucial. You don't want to be getting hurt by your chiropractor. Francis, another good question. Is it okay to have a 3 times a week high volume full body strength training routine where you only increase the weights when you get stronger, or should you vary the rep ranges for each workout? No, that's fine, because you are increasing the weights when you get stronger. So that's fine. So you increasing that intensity. That's definitely fine. Like I said, especially if strength training is if increasing your strength is what you are after, that's the way to do it. Just make sure you keep the deload week in there as well, though. Keisha, that Zoom training, the virtual training is something I've been working on. Like I said, I actually presented that idea the last video. I said everybody needs to give me a time where they'll be able to tune in to YouTube, because I'm gonna start going live and I'm gonna start doing some workouts live. So for people to follow along, it's gonna be some home-based workouts. So I just need to know a time, like a average time that'll work for everybody, and I'm gonna start going live around that time, and it's gonna be some workouts, man. So that's gonna be some virtual training right there. I just gotta find a time that works for the majority. Magic rims, those one-arm push-ups are no joke. I saw another one, man. I saw a one-arm pull-up. Ooh, that I tried. That is ridiculous. A one-arm pull-up. My goodness. That's what I gotta master that. I don't know if you all have ever tried to do a muscle up, but a muscle up is complicated. I feel like I had mastered, but a one-arm pull-up, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. All sweet tea, lifting up the glutes. Yeah, get you some squats in. Get some glute raises in too. CD, when it comes, when it comes to that type of advice, you got to understand who you getting that advice from. Bodybuilders. So bodybuilders, their focus is increasing muscle mass. So they all about tension. The best way to get that tension, to keep tension on a muscle, is to not do full reps. So they don't really too much care for like full reps. So that's why they say full squatting is a waste of time. When I'm strength training, I'm all about full range of motion, full reps. So I'm locking out on the bench press. I'm going like what they call it, ass to grass on the squat. I'm doing all that. I'm doing all that. Them bodybuilders, they don't necessarily care for that. They want to just increase the muscle mass. So they believe in just tension, 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 tension. They don't believe in locking out. I care about being strong. So I want it, it's slow and controlled. Slow and controlled. That's the way I was taught. That's the way I was trained. Control that weight. So when you full squat and you pause and you come back up, I'm controlling that weight. Yeah, Magic Rim, man. I don't remember how many I did back when I did them, but them one-arm push-ups can get serious. And it's another style of training that what was it? I think the bodybuilder, his name was Mike Mentzer. He had basically like a high intensity type of training. It's intense, but it's like slow training. So I'm gonna give y'all something to do. I'm gonna give y'all some homework. If you got weights, then you could do them with some weights. But do you a squat, right? And on the lowering portion of the squat, so when you're going down, give yourself 30 seconds. So that means you got to squat, you got to go down real slow. So at about 30 seconds, you should be at the end of the squat, at the lowest portion of the squat. So it should take 30 seconds to get to that low portion of the squat. Then you rise and you do it again. Man, that is a killer. That is a killer. Give yourself 30 seconds to get to that low position of the squat, meaning you squatting real slow. That joint is deadly, especially when you do it with weight. That joint deadly. Oh, yeah, Magic Rims, plyometrics, I rock with them. And you can do that method that I'm talking about. You can do that with bench pressing. You can do that with anything, man, just real slow. Real slow. Like, man, that stuff is crash. That stuff burns so bad, man. The burn is real. I did that with the leg extension machine in the gym. Man, my legs were done. Like I squatted and I did that. I was done. I was done. That slow squatting, that stuff ain't a joke. 30 seconds on the way down, that stuff ain't a joke. That stuff ain't a joke. And then like 10 to 15 seconds like on the way up, it ain't a joke. Yeah, mind control, muscle ups is crazy. Yeah, D, man, just thinking about it, making my legs burn again. Let me see, Francis, what kind of rep ranges did you use in your workouts when you were playing football? So we kept everything in about a 5 to 12 rep range, 5 to 12. We never really went any more than 12. So we stayed in that 5 to 12 rep range. Oh, D, yeah. So imagine doing that with the legs. It ain't gonna be no hurting to drive away from the gym. You're gonna sit there for about 2 hours. You're going to sit there for about 2 hours, man, just contemplating your life. Like, man, why did I just do that? That was unnecessary. Yeah, mind control, yeah, negative squats. So he was real big on like the negative portion of it, man. That's where the power is at, like that lowering portion of it. So controlling the negative. That stuff, man, that stuff is sick. I had a dude I was training to do that for the bench press, man. His chest was developing quickly from that. I mean, just take the bench press, man, and just lower it. Take about 30 seconds to lower it, then tap the chest, come up, man. That stuff rough. Montel, that's definitely one of those. Definitely one of those. Most definitely. Francis, I think I don't know what the 20 rep squat program is, but if you explain it, I may have heard about it. But I'll give y'all one better for the squats. I've done some crazy things in squat when it comes to squats. Here go a good one. This involves a barbell, obviously. So you got to do back squats with the barbell. So you got to do 100 squats, but you got 3 reps to get it done. So you do 100 squats, and it depends on. So if you weigh more than, I think it's about, if you weigh more than 165, then you have to do it with 185 pounds. If you 165 or less, then you do it with 135 pounds. So you got to hit 30. You got to hit 100 squats, and you only have 3 reps to hit the 100. Got 3 reps to do 100 squats with either 135 pounds, 185 pounds. That is deadly. That is deadly. When I did that, I had just missed the weight for 185. Man, I might have been like 164. So I got 135. So that was light, but I still felt it because the first rep, I think I banged out like 40. I banged out like 40 of those joints. So then the next one I did like, I think I did like 30 and 30 after that. Man, that junk burned. That joint burned. That was rough. That was rough, man. You got three sets. You got 3 sets to do 100 squats with a significant amount of weight. Yeah, D, I feel like, yeah, if you can, definitely make your way to a gym. Now, if you got enough equipment at home, cool. But, man, I definitely recommend, if you can, work out at a gym, man. I definitely recommend it. Getting that gym membership. Definitely. But, y'all, man, this been a good build, man. I'm glad I got to get back on here, man, and just drop some little jewels. And I got to get my mind right, get some stuff ready for these clients. I got, like, I think about 2 sessions that I got. So I want to get everything situated, get everything structured out. So I'm about to, tap on out of here. Before I do that, though, hold on. Keisha got a good question here. Before I leave, before I exit, say 196 pounds in weight, and I want to be 135. What's the first thing I should do while at home? All right, so the first thing you do want to do, definitely want to do the routine that I laid out for you. So you want to try to find you about 6 to 7 good body weight movements, and you want to do those for time, probably like 25, 30 seconds. So you can start with, let's say, body weight squats, jumping jacks, push-ups, burpees, probably planks. Then you could do like some leg lifts. Do those 6 movements back to back to back to back for about 25, 30 seconds a piece. No rest in between. Rest at the end. Minute 30, 2 minutes. No longer than 2 minutes. Repeat that for 3 rounds. If you're feeling good, you can aim for 5 rounds. Then you want to make sure you start practicing some intermittent fasting. And I don't know what's the worst thing that you consume, but you want to start there. Whatever the worst thing that you consume is, you want to make sure you cut that out. So if you drink a lot of juice, like a lot of juices that contain a lot of added sugar, then you might want to start there. But you want to remove one thing a month, and then you add something that you don't normally consume that you know is healthy. So that's what I would start with. So I would start doing that routine there, Keisha, and then I would start from just analyzing what you consume. So what is the worst thing, or what is the thing that you know that is bothering you the most in regards to like what it is that you consume, what it is that you eat? You want to eliminate that, and then you want to add something that's beneficial that you don't normally consume. So you subtract and then you add, and you do that once a month, and then do some intermittent fasting. I suggest the 5-2 method to start with, but a lot of people can't handle that. So you may want to start. You may want to start with the 18-6. You eat between the 8-hour window, fast for 16 hours. You eventually want to work your way up to where you can fast for a full 24 hours, at least once a week, on nothing but straight water. Yeah, deep block it, no doubt. Okay, Francis, I got you. I did that. Yeah, I've done that before. I've done that before, man. I got a bunch of crazy squat routines. Ah, man, I got some crazy squat routines. I'm gonna give you another one, then I'm gonna go. This is more crazier than the 100 reps. It might be just about the same. I ain't even do the math on it. I just did it. But man, you start with 20. You start from 20. So I did 135. You start from 20 reps and you go down. So you do 20 reps, you do 19 reps, you do 18 reps, you do 17 reps, you do 16 reps, go all the way down to 1. Joint is a killer. But like I said, y'all, man, I gotta go get this gym ready, man. I gotta figure out these workouts, figure out how I'm gonna kill them. So I gotta get all this figured out, man. Get everything situated. Appreciate y'all tapping in and tuning in to your boy. Ain't no telling when I'm gonna go live again. Like y'all said, when I come across some information that's important, I jump on here. When I got something to say, I jump on here. So ain't no telling. Might see me tomorrow, might not. But y'all be easy, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of this Tuesday, man. Y'all get y'all some meditation in, do some journaling, do something peaceful, and eat some healthy foods while you're at it, and drink your water. So I'm out, y'all. Y'all be easy, man. Peace.